And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. Fire in the veins, I fight to gain, breaking all the rules to keep me sane.
Hey guys, and welcome once again to the weekly English shooting live stream here in the Blue Fieldsports gunroom. We are joined by Conners. As always, we have Alex, the voice of God, running the show behind. But we're also joined by our special guest, Mr. Paul Wyborn. Now, I'm sure David Kiddle, if he joins us tonight, will absolutely love this. But Paul is a pretty astounding actionaire shooter. We're probably going to be a bit heavy this evening on Action Air. But why don't you tell the guys a bit about yourself, your current accolades, and basically what you do?
So I'm Paul. I've been shooting
Yeah,
Action Air.
we know that. we literally just introduced you.
Yeah, be prepared for the abuse. Right.
I've been shooting Action Air for a number of years now. I'm currently a Grandmaster in the UK for Standard. I've got my first place champion trophy behind me. And yeah, I've shot all over the world. I competed for Team GB at the Action Air World Shoot in 2018. I managed to come second place there as well. So in the junior ranking, medal here. And yeah.
And you have quite a collection of president's medals as well.
Yeah. So
for those of you that don't know about IPSC, you only get a president's medal if you come first place within, for a world shoot you do get a president's one for the second, but you only get these in the UK if you win your division in the match. So that sort of shows how good Paul is. So any questions about...
He's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Yeah.
On a good day, I could probably have him.
Yeah. We're yet to. We will be doing a video at some point. I don't know if you know about this yet. Where we're going to try. We're going to take down some long barrel pistols, and we're going to sort of go side by side between Action Air and long barrel pistols, and see how transferable your quite obvious skills are with Action Air, and whether Paul can just pick up an LBP and wipe the floor with us, which I think will probably be the outcome. But we'll see how that goes. So any questions you have about Action Air, the guns, because we do have your competition handgun there. Again, because of YouTube, I know that these are airsoft Action Air guns, but we can't handle them, unfortunately, because YouTube says no, just in case we decide to go crazy with some Action Air guns. We've got a second special guest as well.
Apparently there's a mouse on Paul's forehead, so she's come to get it.
So it's usual, apart from our special guest, it is the usual format.
Nala wants to say something to everyone, so when she's finished typing a message, I will send it to you. There you go.
Hello, Nala.
That's from Nala.
So usual setup. Any questions or topics you want to talk about, then put them in the comment section below. And it is always appreciated for hitting the thumbs up button. But
do you remember, people, that last week we had a competition? If we got to 100 likes, Callum would leave the stream. So if you don't want Callum on the stream,
what is she doing? Come on, Nala.
If you don't want Callum on the stream anymore, just hit the thumbs up button. All I want to say right now, Callum, is 38.
and counting.
And counting. We are minutes into the stream, and we're over a third of the way there to getting you kicked off of your own stream.
It's fine. I'll go home, crack open a beer.
You can take the Glock with you as well.
No, it's the master race. So I did, before the stream started, I did try to sneak the Glock over
41
Paul's gun. Oh, God. The likes are not appreciated anymore at this point. Please do not like the stream. I do quite enjoy doing this every week. Obviously, you guys don't. Nala, what are you doing? There, she's going now. But we do have a number of other topics, although
43.
you guys have... Oh, God. You guys have already asked a number of questions. So we have Stephen Wolf, thanks for the donation, much appreciated, asking what channels we follow outside of shooting channels. Funnily enough, while we were having our pre-live stream Chinese, which is a tradition that we haven't done for a little while, we were watching Daily Driven Exotics. That's one of my sort of favourite...
His favourite.
Yeah, one of my favourite non-gun YouTube channels. I've said it before on the streams, I don't actually watch a lot of gun YouTube. I'm sort of bored with it by the time I've done all my videos and put them out. I just want to switch off.
The difference is you're arrogant enough to think that you know everything. See, one of my personal favourites is Forgotten Weapons. Everyone's got to watch Forgotten Weapons.
Well, yes.
You know, Ian is Gun Jesus for a reason. And Donut Operator. Because
of course, yes.
Donut Operator.
But then would you say... he's sort of by definition a firearms channel, but he's not a traditional shooting channel.
No, but it's very interesting because I find it interesting because everything we do here in the UK is completely mired by the law in one way or another. and he spends a lot of time explaining the law. Now, whilst it is US law and not really applicable to us, it's interesting to see what sort of insights he provides into their law,
Yeah.
because there are some crossovers and things that you can draw back from that.
Well,
Unfortunately, of course, self-defence is illegal in the UK, so...
well, it's not,
It's
but
not.
we're not going to... Talking about it is.
Talking about
Yeah.
talking about self-defence will have your YouTube channel taken down. Fact.
Well, no. Alex is giving a very worried look across the room.
I'm slowly turning my microphone on. I think you should talk about NHTSA, because NHTSA are in the comments, and
Yep.
there are 2 handgun matches happening in October and November.
Ooh.
They're both on the UKPSA Facebook page and website, and anyone who's a UKPSA member can go over there and shoot full-bore handgun in the UK.
Have you been up to next yet?
Not yet. It's definitely on the to-do list.
Maybe we can go out there.
How come Aris has been out there and you haven't? That's why Aris thinks he's better than you.
No. Aaron doesn't think he's better than me. He just
Wishes he was.
Yeah. he wishes he was, and he tries to dip his hand in all sorts of different stuff, and then he gets too busy and he doesn't actually train in the way he
Are
should.
you saying that he doesn't finish anything he starts?
In a way, yes.
Like,
He's not on the stream yet. We can rip the shit out of him all we want. And then when he gets on the stream, we can rip the shit out of him.
He gets very upset if you don't speak to him for weeks. So Wayne Hemmings, actually, this was one of the topics that I was... so and any questions directly for Paul, put them in the chat section.
Yeah.
But Wayne asking about what do we think about the new requirements for a medical report by the Firearms Licensing Department on new grants and renewals.
Very interesting. See, we have 2 completely different opinions on this. Do you want to go first?
I don't think we necessarily do. I'm just more jilted than others. So, the fantastic news is that Hampshire, as of the 1st of September, has opened for new applications, which means,
Sorry, bad burp.
Jesus Christ.
We had Chinese.
As I've been waiting
I ate
since...
my food, I ate his food, and I ate your food.
He actually did. They don't call him the dustbin for no reason. So Hampshire have opened up, and I've been able to put in my application for a coterminous firearms and shotgun certificate, and then within the next hour, I got an email saying, basically, where the hell is your GP form? We need this signed and completed and back within 24 hours, or your application will be rejected. Needless to say, I'm get the
Not for the lack of trying.
not for lack of trying. I phoned a number of people,
Including a very expensive private consultant.
Yes, an actual what's his?
Is he Kat is in the chat, so she'll correct me if I'm wrong. But psychiatrist consultant.
I've got his
psychologist.
I've got his email. Anyway, he does psychiatric
Works at a
reports.
very high level.
Yes. So basically, if he says I'm good to own guns, then no one can disagree, really. However, I wasn't able to do it, and it means that I had to actually withdraw my application.
You couldn't do it in time.
Well, I couldn't do it in time, so I had to withdraw it. And I'm currently trying to, and we're going to talk about, a couple of organisations, because I'm sure this isn't going to be just for myself. So the thing that I feel a little bit jilted about is, obviously, for months the department has been shut. And I've been on that website pretty much every single week, at least once a week, checking that it's going to be open. But there, unless I missed it, there's been no mention up until the 1st of September about the new process of the medical GP form. And I believe Hampshire and Thames Valley are the...
Consultant forensic psychiatrist.
That's the one. I believe Hampshire and Thames Valley are the only forces that are insisting that the application has to be attached by or accompanied by a GP form before they will even start looking at it, or otherwise they will reject it.
We do think this is being rolled out by lots of police forces.
Yes.
So we think this is it started. It's been centralised somewhere, and forces are going to start rolling this out now. My opinion of this is this is really good.
Yeah.
Because the way I understand it, most FAC applications, like you hear horror stories of people in Kent waiting over a year for a firearms certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those horror stories come from the FLDs waiting for the GP report.
Yep.
Because it's not priority to the GP at all. And what a lot of people don't understand is that whilst filling in the form might be a few check boxes, there's 2 things to think about. One, they have to look through your medical history. Whilst it might be as simple as checking some flags on the front page, they do still have to go through your medical history. You might only have been to the GP twice, but your medical history is going to be a lot more than just 2 pages. So someone's got to sit down and read that. Second thing, it's private work. It's exactly the same thing as if you're a HGV driver going in for a medical, and someone has to pay for that. The NHS does not pay for private work, so someone's got to pay for it.
So this thing, so I don't disagree with paying for it. I don't disagree with actually having to get it.
Well, the thing is, by getting
get
it in
place.
advance,
Yeah,
you're removing that huge delay that a lot of FLDs were experiencing.
And I don't disagree with that. What I'm jilted about is that they could have given a little bit more warning of when we reopen, you will be required to have this form, because
I'm not saying it on the website.
It says it now, but I've been through it many times and it never came up with anything about GP form. I might be incorrect on that, but I couldn't see anything, because if I'd have known, I would have got it done. I would have had it sat there ready and waiting to attach to the application form. Unfortunately, it means that at best I'm probably going to have to wait another week. And I'm certainly not going to be the only one in this situation, because it's only become apparent on the 1st of September. So there are going to be a lot of people in Hampshire and Thames Valley that have been waiting for them to reopen. They don't have the form filled in because they didn't have access to the form, as far as I'm aware, because you couldn't get to it. Mm-hmm. And now there's going to be a rush to GPs within Hampshire and Thames Valley.
We think we've, in conjunction with someone called Colin Jenkins, I think we found like a good solution for everyone that's fast, because MediCert, which everyone says to go and try, they're 6 weeks plus COVID delays.
Yes.
So you could be looking at well over 6 weeks potentially to get anything back from them.
Yes.
So what we've figured out you can do, take some photo ID down to your GP practice. I said practice. Yeah.
Was there some like MSG in that Chinese?
There's a lot of MSG in Chinese. Take some photo ID down to your GPs and ask for an invite letter to Patient Access. Mm-hmm. Patient Access is an online service where, with the details from your invite letter, which you can only get with photo ID, you can then go on and download your medical history. And then, Callum will put the link in the chat, there is a medical history form filling service specifically for firearms applications that say they will turn it round in up to 5 days.
So this is it's called Shotgun Medicals. Yep. And this is the service that I'm going to be using. So I'm actually going to be popping into my GP tomorrow with my photo ID, driving license, passport. Actually, if it's for renewals, technically you can use a shotgun or firearm certificate. Yep. Which I've used for my season ticket on a train station once, and luckily the guy liked guns. But it was like this is a big driving license. It's not a driving license. So I'm going to show them my photo ID. I'll get this code. I should be able to come straight back onto. Go online, get my medical record, and send it to this company. So I'm hoping it's only a further week delay. How long it's then going to be afterwards, basically I'm trying, as probably everyone is, to beat the rush. Beat the rush into the system so that I'm not waiting months and months and months, because there is going to be increased...
Say hi. Callum, everyone stop the stream. Everyone stop. Paul has something to say.
Hello Scarlett, I see you're in the chat. Thank you for watching.
His girlfriend's here. Let's give Paul some extra abuse today.
Don't worry. Holly tends to join, my mum tends to join. It's a family affair.
Yeah. My girlfriend's in here as well.
So, yeah. I mean, our friends...
Your dad thinks it's not going to end well. You should see...
That's because of the MSG.
Yeah. Is there something that we should know? Is this don't pour water on a gremlin?
Kind of. So as a young child, I had a bit of a problem with MSG, and certain foods used to send me a bit loopy. So MSG is one of those things.
You're telling us that now?
It's only in larger quantities. It's not too bad.
We had a fairly large... Well, I had a fairly large...
You had a fairly large.
My cousin was banned from having any cola. Yeah. Any brand cola. And we went to Disney World as a family. And with Virgin, if you were a kid, you got these little backpacks full of all sorts. And it was around the time that Virgin had made Virgin Cola. Yeah. And there were these little bottles, and I remember rummaging through, and I pulled it out, and my cousin slapped it back into the bag, and he was like, "I've got one in mind too, but if my mum sees it, we are like I'm screwed, right?" So we like he smuggled them in the bag because his mum's like, "What did you get in the bag?" And he got a book and a little lunchbox and all that. Anything else? No. And he waited until she was going to sleep. And she, like a viper, was like, "No! Like, I am not going to be on the plane with a hyperactive, like, 11-year-old for 7 hours." So yeah, it was Skittles and Smarties before they banned the blue ones.
I
used to send me Delali.
I used to have a friend who went absolutely Delali from Blue Smarties, but she would eat them deliberately. Well, she was nuts. I miss her.
Got a question, Carl Volt. Which video am I most proud of? And what is a video you've wanted to make but have been unable to? This could get interesting.
Alex, you better have your finger on the button.
Something about Paris and anyway, no. So the video I'm most proud of, I don't know. I have to say in terms of overall like what was put out, probably the latest Magload loader video. It's not
What, the one with John Jennings?
Yeah, I think it's probably like my best edited video that I've done.
I said it needs room. It's got a lot of room for improvement. But as Arius put quite well, not bad for Magload.
Absolutely. So that probably in terms of editing, that's probably one I'm most proud of. Video I've wanted to make, pretty much anything at Bisley. There's a whole host of videos that I would love to be able to make down at Bisley, but they won't approve them. So I don't know why, but
we need to put to bed the rumour that you're banned from filming at Bisley.
I'm not.
Because you're not banned from filming at Bisley.
No.
It's just the same rule applies to you as to everyone else.
It's basically you need to seek permission from the NRA before you release them online, and I have that in multiple emails, and unfortunately they just won't give permission for me to release anything, which is a real shame because I've wanted to do a proper in-depth tour.
Well, you did a really good video for Cottesloe Heath
a few years ago. And again, they thought it was too frantic. They thought that it was too dynamic because it was practical shotgun. And it's a real shame because I think a lot more could be done at Bisley in terms of promotion and showing what an amazing facility it is. Yes, Nala agrees. There are lots of videos I even have scripts for at the moment that will probably be made in some variation of the state that they are currently in the near future, most likely. So those are ones that I've wanted to make but have been unable to at this point. But we'll see how that goes. Very, very, very cryptic, but you know how I like to tease you guys.
It's been outside.
But yeah, apart from that, I guess, like, say, an English shooting...
Kiddles join the stream.
Oh dear. It's an Action Air special tonight, Kiddle. But yeah, in terms of, like, an English shooting video, the one I'm most proud of, I don't know, probably...
Was it the one that got used for Gunroom TV?
Yes, that's the one.
It was always a Gunroom TV video.
It wasn't. I honestly can't. I mean, there's like 400 videos. I honestly couldn't say. It's probably in the most recent.
400 videos are not a good one amongst them. Apart from the stream where we hit 100 likes, currently we're on 52.
Oh,
Just
no.
saying.
Oh,
if you want Callum to leave the stream, hit like.
Please no.
Or
no, please yes. I can go to sleep. But anyway, I can't think of all the videos. Probably actually like the final farewell video before I shut down the channel because it was like a best of. I like that.
Yeah, and there wasn't much in it.
Anyway, moving on. Kevin.
Are we actually in England? Yes, we are. Shall we go ahead and explain what's on the table? Because there's a lot of discussion going on at the moment. Some people seem to think that they're centre-fire pistols. They are not. They're not centre-fire pistols.
No, just we haven't got our Section 5 yet. They're not Section 5. They are all. I forgot to move this before the stream started. This definitely wasn't a bait. Anyway.
Oh! Kiddle just thumbs down us. How do you ban
snap.
someone again?
I think they can still like and dislike
I
it.
can put user in timeout.
So for the 9mm or live fire handguns, they're not. They are actually airsoft or action air guns because Paul is a champion
First off,
action air shooter.
because we use these terms, well, a lot of people use these terms interchangeably.
Yeah.
Paul, why don't you explain to us what the difference is between action air and airsoft?
So the main difference between action air and airsoft is action air is like the IPSC side of things, so the practical shooting. Airsoft is generally used in the term of people that go skirmishing or people that like to do like CQB drills, things like that. So I shoot action air and airsoft. However, this is obviously my action air pistol. I would never take that to a skirmish because I'm too scared of breaking it.
And what's been done to that? 'Cause you say that it's a full custom build, right?
Yeah, so this is a STI 2011 DVC based off of a TM. So the only actual essentially stock part of the TM is the grip, which obviously you can see has been stippled, and then everything else is like an aluminium kit. So I've got a slide and frame kit, which is CNC aluminium, and then all the parts inside completely custom. They're all upgraded, steel parts or aluminium parts.
And one of the misconceptions is that action air guns are toys.
There's a few people in the comments going off on one about it, and Mike Gill says, LARPing. Mike, if I put you on a stage with him and you can come even close to half of the time that he completes it in, then I will agree with you.
Like action air is not pretend. It's a
It
sport
is,
in
it's
its
its
own
own
right.
discipline.
It is an IPSC discipline
Yeah.
that has its own. It is its own discipline with its own set of rules. It is not a derivative of handgun. It is, which is actually some conversation I had with Milan at the last level 3.
Yeah.
It's not a derivative of handgun. It is its own sport with its own
and
different and unique challenges.
For action air, you're not going and playing dress up. You're not in camouflage or camo. You're wearing the same shirt. This is your shooting
Same
shirt.
shirt as
Yeah.
Conners.
It's very much its own
shirts.
sport. And for those that say they're toys, so your gun, if someone was to walk into a shop and say, I want to build that, what sort of money are you talking?
I mean, to buy that gun off me right now, you're probably looking at about £1,500.
Yeah.
I'm currently in the process of getting all the bits together to buy a matching pair, custom, and again, they're going to be about £1,500 each, all in.
That's
So-
actually a really interesting point. So a lot of people who I see shooting action air at high levels have matching pairs of guns.
Yeah.
Explain a bit more about that.
So obviously the biggest thing in a match that can set you back is a gun malfunction or kit problems. Obviously you can have a bad day and have some bad stages, but at the end of the day, if your gun breaks, you're just screwed. Especially in action air, because a lot of our timing is done on stop plates. So if you have a gun jam or something, you only get to shoot half the course of fire. If you haven't put a round on that stop plate, you get a DNF. You score 0 for the stage. Which is quite harsh in some respects, but at the end of the day, it's the same for everyone. It's in the rules, that's how it is.
Yeah.
So having a matching pair allows you to go into a match, and if you have a gun malfunction, bin that stage, get your other gun out, and carry on shooting.
I just want to address something here, because now everyone's getting a bit asked about the price. Okay? £1,500, my real one cost £800. Right. Let me lay it out for you. You go and buy a custom bull armoury, which is even half the modification and customisation of that. You're looking at about £4,000 plus.
Yeah.
They're about €4,500.
The Shadow 2, just a base off the Shadow.
A base Shadow 2.
Yeah.
You can get them deals at about €1,300. Euros.
And you're still going to probably sink another 500 quid at least into
that. Shadow 2 is £180, £190 gun with mags and stuff.
It's just like, say, the Benelli the Benelli M2 SP, which is like a £1,400 gun, and you still need to go and put another 500 quid's worth of work into it to be at the top level.
Yeah, it's like someone saying, oh, my hat sound only cost £100. Well, yeah, it's still a fucking hat sound. It's not you can't compare that £1,500 gun to a Glock.
Well, the funny thing is,
because a Glock is, for instance, I'm not ripping on Glock here.
Yeah.
A Glock is a mass-produced gun.
Yeah.
That anyone can walk in and buy, requires no customization. You just pick it up and go.
But talking about Glock, so my right at the front there, that's my action air Glock. cost an absolute fraction of what it would cost to build Paul's gun. But Conners was fitting the trigger. There's a video that went out a couple of days ago of him fitting that trigger. We've sort of found out that actually it is illegal for IPSC, so I need to put the old trigger back in there for competition. But it looks pretty. And whilst Conners was taking that apart, there are far more components in that gun than there is, say, the Walther PPQ, which is a very similar mechanism, right? They are incredibly intricate guns.
The Walther PPQ is actually even more over-engineered than the centerfire version would be. There's still more parts in that, and it's funny because the thing is, in a full bore, in a centerfire handgun, you have the gas from the cartridge to drive the gun. So all you really need is the firing pin. If the firing pin strikes, everything else happens. The geometry of the gun takes care of the rest. Here you've got to use gas, which is held inside the magazine, the same place the BBs are being held, has to drive an entire system with a blowback unit and a piston and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, mechanically...
And it's cheaper than a real gun.
Yeah.
It is cheaper.
And the other thing to take into consideration as well is my gun is £1,500 because it is completely custom. You can go out and buy an Armour Works, which is what Connor shoots at the front, and they're like 150 quid.
Yeah.
Like at the lowest price.
You can, I will vouch for being able to buy that gun and take it into a competition and competing with it, using it.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not going to say doing well with it because the gun needed some repair afterwards, and that's again one of the benefits of having a higher end gun, less repairing in the first place.
And that is the main reason the gun's completely custom. They're built for reliability rather than performance. Yes, there are some performance things in there, but in the end of the day, it's reliability. I mean, the slide is aluminium. That slide will never be as fast as the standard TM plastic slides because it's heavier. You know, there's more mass to move, it's heavier, but you put an alley one on there so it doesn't break.
Yeah, and again, I know Connors has sort of already said this, but I will put, I think your dad and brother aside, I will put 50 quid for anyone that can come down and beat Paul on a stage of Action Air with his own gun.
If you think you're so good, come and prove it.
Go and watch some of the videos. It's absolutely rapid. Like Action Air shooting is faster than live fire handgun, and it's just ballistic.
I always had an appreciation for it, but it wasn't until I came to that level. Kiddle just took the bet.
Kiddle took the. If you lose, you have to pay me 50 quid.
Yeah.
Like,
or in real money, that's about 2 Ruger 1022s.
Deal.
Or what was it? It was a Ruger 1022 and there was something else.
Oh, and your girlfriend's coming down.
That's cool.
What were we saying? We were saying something very important, but I forgot what it was.
But basically, stop hating on Action Air.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. It's only when I went to the level 3 up at the Grange, I realised, and we'd been to Serbia that year, we'd seen a lot of centre fire shooting being done. It is on another level. The speed at which people are shooting. Even, sorry for the mid-packers in the comments, but oh, is Arius not here? Okay.
It's because he wasn't at the match.
But even the people who you'd consider mid-pack are still shooting faster than people who are at the top end in the level 4 handgun match we went to, because you can go so much faster, and it comes to a point where, I always talk about how in standing manual we're always chasing marginal gains, chasing tenths of a second to each other. That's like once or twice a year. That's every competition for you, chasing tenths of a second, because that's where you make up. Well, there is no time to make up. Like, how much of it is luck?
I mean, there's a fair amount of luck in there involved, but a lot of it boils down to practice. If you can have your draw the same time and it's the lowest time of anyone else, you will always be that much quicker on a stage than the other person.
I will say that it's the one thing that, for me, will keep Action Air as I say my least, and I say least favourite in the loosest terms, but least favourite discipline is the reliability of the guns. Like, no gun.
That's because every time you pull the trigger, your mag vents all the gas.
It does.
Every
Do you
time.
know why?
Because it's
Because
a Glock.
you use a Glock.
Yes, okay. But Connor's gun has shit the bed multiple times.
Twice.
Still multiple. Right? And it is frustrating.
And actually, one time, when he says shit the bed,
Yeah.
it means it vented one time across all the times we shot it, and that was because I let the mag get too cold. and the second time was when the hop unit broke, and it was still putting pellet on pellet on every
Yes.
target.
But there is definitely more reliability issues with action air guns than there is
100%.
live fire. Live fire aren't faultless, but for me that is always the most frustrating thing because you can train. If the gun shits the bed, it's all for nothing. And it's like I come away from a lot of I've only done one level 3 and a few stages of the airsoft surgeon match, but like I like to come away and go, right, I was shit. Like I was shit on this, and this, and I can go and train this. I can go and correct that. But if your gun keeps malfunctioning, it's like I'm doing everything right, but the gun keeps malfunctioning, and that's the frustrating
what
thing
I want
for me.
to say to that is, whilst we all remember our malfunctions, because it does happen more in action air than anything else, bear in mind how much action air we filmed. Like the ratio of malfunctions is still like 1 or 2%. It's not high. It's not like every time you shoot you're having a malfunction.
No.
I mean, you can have. I can't say with any honesty that I've ever had a shotgun match where I've gone through an entire match without a single malfunction.
Yeah.
You might recover from that malfunction really quickly.
Yes, and it's the level of the malfunction, isn't it?
I think the difference is a malfunction on a shotgun is get that round out and carry on going.
Yeah.
Malfunction with action air could mean you have to drop the magazine and go again.
Or worse, which happened to me at the World Shoot, fired a round into my first target and the slide got back, and I could not move it.
Well, so,
That's not good.
Well, actually, that's a point to say. So you were second in juniors, but you zeroed a stage.
Yeah, so I did. So it was a medium course, 120 points, and my first round hit the target, got an alpha, dead centre, but the O-ring in my blowback unit had actually split, and it caused the nozzle to jam back with the slide. So much so to the point where I had to get a gun bag to put my gun in order to take it to the safe zone after the stage.
So
And my dad had to literally whack the slide on the table just to get it forwards to try and get it off.
So I think it probably goes without saying, if your gun hadn't malfunctioned at that point, you probably would have won juniors.
I would definitely have won juniors. So I actually did some math. Working at a lower average score per stage, I would have beaten the person who came in first place by about 10 points. So it would have been close.
Jeez. Yeah.
But I would have come first.
Yeah.
See, and that's like I wouldn't have been able to come away from the World Shoot sane. Like again, you've
I
done
still
everything.
came home with silver.
Yeah, no, it's
can't
still
complain.
amazing. You can.
It's
Like,
still second in the world.
yeah,
In the world.
but for me,
The world.
Yeah, but I would have come away.
You won't understand, Mr. Midpack.
How many president medals did you put out there?
None. This is about action air.
8 including my silver.
Yes. This will be the last time we have guests. But anyway, I've seen Neil from Rack
I
and
just
Load
want to
here.
say, everyone, 66. We're 2/3 of the way there. If you want Callum off the channel, hit like, get us to 100 likes, and Callum will leave the stream.
Gladly. Rack and Load here. Hi, Rack. Obviously, a big fan of action air and airsoft and all things air guns as well. So thanks,
67.
thanks for joining. I do want to give a massive shout out to Sinner 2004, and I will get onto your question. So we're actually drinking his Pepsi that he very kindly brought down. So Sinner 2004. I don't know if you. Yeah, I won't use your name unless you want me to. But Sinner 2004 and his wife came down to the gun room, and we went out to the range for basically a bit of introduction to practical shooting and shooting in general. He came away with a massive smile on his face, which is always good to see. And he's asking, talking about the Stoger M3K we shot on Tuesday, you said it's highly modified. In what way? Also, I can't find an SGC version of the website, only FAC. So I want to. Alex is about to do this, but I want to clarify. It wasn't the M3K that you shot.
Well
it was
done.
actually the Stoger M3000, which is Section 2. So you can only get the M3K in a Section 1, which is unrestricted capacity. You can't share those around because they're Section 1 shotguns. So what you shot was the M3000 that I've used is Section 2, but it's got a tube on there because it simulates the length for training, and it's highly modified in the sense that Conners has worked his magic on the loading port. It's got a welded
I'm not happy with it.
it was one of the first that he did, or the first one that he did on a Stoger. It's got a welded extended lifter.
Badly.
Yes, because I did it.
He did it.
It does have the M3K latch and enlarged button, and it does have the M3K extended bolt handle. I am going to be doing a full video on this because the gun is, well, unfortunately I can't go and get it, but the gun, after all these years, is finally in its finished state. The other only addition is a shot saver.
It's finished state, chopped up in the bin.
Anyway, it's still like one of the most reliable shotguns that I've ever used. But yeah, it's basically an M3K replica. So a Stoker M3000 that has been, as much as it can, while still being Section 2, pimped out towards the M3K. So
guys,
Please
please
stop that.
yeah, stop talking about the incident in America, please. Thank you.
Oh dear.
Lots of love.
Well, we can always just talk about self-defense.
No.
We have to start removing those comments as they carry on.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sure many of you are aware of the issues that I have had / have in terms of topics on the channel. It's a pain. I'm a big supporter of free speech and being able to address and approach any topic within the right way. But you guys know that me talking about the Kenosha kid is not going to go well for me in the long term.
Callum, 70.
Well, it's fine. If you want to talk about, I'm probably going to be gone in about 10 minutes. So, I'll leave you to
The only thing I want to say is there's a lot of misinformation out there about it. If you really want to know what's gone on from an unbiased point of view, go and watch the Done It Operator video on it. It's really
Thanks for the guys who just removed all their comments as well.
Yeah.
No, we
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it. Like, we hate that you have to do it. Like, I
Bearing in mind we're not allowed to handle the guns on stream because of how YouTube are cracking down.
yes,
So
yeah, we don't. Well, we're not actually doing that for YouTube, but anyway.
yeah.
And also, so Sinner 2004 again. Thank you for the Pepsi, very much appreciated. We hope to see you back down soon with your FAC, and we can help you fill up those slots.
72.
I also want to say that the infamous Kyle actually came down and paid us a visit. So I finally
Because you stood him up at the match. He travelled, what was it, 2.5 hours because you said you were going to be there.
He still had a good time. Things happen. But anyway, Kyle made the trip down to Blue Fieldsports a few days ago. We got out on the range, and it was just amazing to say in person thank you to all of for his support over the previous months. And I can confirm he's not a drug dealer. To my shock. To my shock, he's not a drug dealer. He has a very legitimate job. I'm not going to talk in depth, but we had a good session down the range, and again, as someone that's sort of chomping at the bit to get fully into the sport. So thanks for again, Carl, making the trip down, and it was great to finally meet you. So as I say pretty much on every live stream, and it's not a trap. This is a gun shop, and gun shops need customers. No. If you want to come down. If you want to come down, well, Alex would like customers. Connors can go.
I'm talking about something completely different.
Oh dear.
No, and I say yes to the other different thing.
No, you can't say yes because the message has been deleted.
Has it?
Yes, it has.
You deleted it?
Someone deleted the message.
No, he said it twice.
Daniel, Daniel, I love you. So yeah, it is a gun shop. Like, it isn't. You could come and sit right here. It's not off limits.
We are sitting in the gun shop. I mean,
yeah, that's it.
The gun shop is currently closed. You couldn't come in here while we were on the stream.
Yeah. Well, you
can't. You can't because when we're streaming, we're not gun shopping.
Well,
but
obviously.
by appointment, Blue Fieldsports, one of the things that really sets it apart is that they're here for you for whatever you need. So get a lot of pest control people coming in, looking for ammo at strange times of the day or night, and Alex will do his best to accommodate people.
Absolutely.
And try and get you what you need. And
like Alex says, people turn up at like 5-6 o'clock in the morning because they're going out stalking for that day, or people turning up at 9 o'clock at night because
don't do that to me regularly.
Please.
Oh God. Or if we get, no, I think it's Kyle has the right idea. 200 likes and Connors shaves his beard, and David has changed his thumbs down to a thumbs up.
Yep.
You're getting trimmed. 200 likes. Although I won't be here if we make it.
Stop. Like, yeah. Actually, if we get to 100, you're out.
It's fine. I'll whiz home, watch it in glorious HD. make sure it's all recorded, and I can play it back. We played another bit of footage back earlier this evening.
Let's not talk.
Bilingo all over the front. Daniel Smerrill, Callum, the 22WMR will be with you in 2 weeks' time. Chris at Spartan should have finished it by then. What's been the hold-up, mate? I mean, it's been with Chris. Chris has been trying to Cerakote that for the last, I don't know, couple of months. Something about a grip.
Alex Cox is here. Hey, buddy, how's it going? And as we know, he's been shooting a lot of Action Air Revolver with his cowboy hat. Good show, my friend. He is asking a question to Paul. Probably seen him push Action Air Revolver as his own division. Heard other shooters' thoughts, including Tim's, but not yours. What's your thoughts on the division?
So, as far as Revolver is concerned, in my opinion, Action Air should be open to everyone, mainly. And before we start watering down all the other divisions, let's get standard and open really, really strong. Let's get production, hopefully a manufacturer making a production gun that people could shoot, so production is really strong, and then look at the more technical divisions. Obviously, as you know, anyone can shoot Revolver at the moment, just shoot open. No. If you want to shoot Revolver, shoot Revolver.
What you're saying is there's not enough people shooting Revolver.
Yeah, there's not enough people shooting Revolver.
So if you were going to shoot Action Air Revolver, which gun would you use? Dan Wesson?
Glock.
I wouldn't use any of them, to be honest. Just
all right.
None of them work properly.
I am going to hang my standard gun up and start shooting Action Air Revolver. If it helps bring the division to reality, I am.
I mean, Alex was pretty rapid still with the revolver.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I'm not expecting to beat him. I'm expecting to shoot Revolver and an excuse to wear the cowboy hat that's been the back of the golf for the last 2 years.
As our
maybe not. It's a bit crusty.
that's the ping pong ball.
I don't. That's not actually what Paul was saying, though.
No.
Paul was saying, ignore Revolver division. Let's get Action Air as a sport.
Yeah.
And the other two that exist, get those really popular before we start watering it down and concentrating on all the other, like we've had with main IPSC disciplines.
Yeah. But my argument is, what are you concentrating on? What are you taking away from the other disciplines by supporting Revolver? I mean, Revolver is a discipline in Action Air already. It's got its rule set.
It's not.
Sorry,
Is it not?
Revolver is not currently recognised in Action Air rules.
Okay, fine.
I
That
think the best reason for donations.
What's that?
So, Azar Mahmood is saying, when you have Section 5, can shoot machine guns? Well, it depends on the Section 5 you get, because very much like a Section 1, you have slots for what you can get. There are some that are completely open, but more often it's locked down to a certain number or certain type of guns. So if full auto's on there, then of course we would be able to do it for testing and development purposes. But Stephen Wolf...
And promotion of the...
And promotion, but Stephen Walls, I doubt they will get it. It takes quite an investment for security. But if you make a super chat donation, Azar, we could get them to that stage. Yes.
Thank you, Stephen.
The English Shooting Section 5 Fund. Oh, that's got a ring to it. Pew pew.
The thing
pew,
is, it
pew.
wouldn't be the shoot and get in the Section 5, it would be Magload.
Media, and
Yeah.
you know, because I of course need to review more Section 5 guns.
Well, you need your unsolicited requests.
Oh no, I can't say it.
Because if you ask for soliciting the request.
So what you need basically?
Okay, I'm going to agree with Colville on a division that needs to die. That is production optics light. So handgun actually is really interesting because handgun has gone completely the other way. There are more and more divisions than ever in handgun. They're talking about revolver optics as well now. You know
what?
Yeah, I know, right?
Jesus.
And actually it works in handgun where 80% of IPSC shooting globally is handgun.
Well, there's always a lot of people at IPSC handgun competitions, isn't there?
Yeah.
So Blackstone 41 says a question for Paul. What's the most important part of Action Air? Transitions and movement, he assumes.
All of it is very, very important. Depending what kind of match you're at, it will tailor accordingly. If you're looking at getting into Action Air, the one thing I would focus on is your fundamentals. At the end of the day, if you're target to target transitions are really, really good. If your double taps are amazing, as long as you're really accurate, speed will come. You know, at the end of the day, you can start off blazingly fast, but if you can't hit anything, you're never going to come anywhere. And
That's what she said.
definitely when you get higher and higher up into the kind of scheme of things, you will find that stage planning becomes a lot more important. So certainly there's been a multitude of courses of fire that I've shot that you've been able to shave off 2 seconds off your time just by shooting it differently.
So it's building blocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
It's the
you
same
need a
as-
firm foundation.
Yeah, it's the same as what we say to absolutely everyone who comes through training with us.
Mm-hmm.
Start slow, get your skills and your muscle memory down, and the speed will come in time,
Yeah.
all by itself. You don't need
if
to
you
try
and
to go
push
fast.
yourself too fast, you will do worse.
And actually, if you try to push, something I've seen with a lot of students is if they try to push themselves too fast at an early stage before they've built correct muscle memory, you'll start to build the bad habits in.
Yeah.
And that's when you see people like scrunching over to load and
No,
ducking the hip,
no,
to grab the guard.
scrunching.
But you worked that out because you took it back down, you slowed down and got the
Yeah.
muscle memory right, and now it's a lot more smooth with a lot less superfluous movement.
Yeah, but I still. So I was actually going
Yes, you
through.
scrunch, but you used to do the hip to the hand rather than the hand to the hip, which a lot of people do when they're
Okay.
starting to quad load.
Yeah.
And it's just about slowing it down,
Yeah.
figuring out those superfluous movements, working it in slowly, and the speed will come as you
Well,
practice.
funny
those
enough, going
movements.
down with Cinna 2004, usually when you go down and you're practicing, you're trying to get some speed in there. But because I was demonstrating and I slowed it down, it was almost, I was like, oh. And then when I went to do it, it was a lot more natural because I'd spent the time to slow it down, really think about the movement of my hand and where everything was going to be placed, and then did it. So, you say that for competition, you should bring it back to about 80% of
Yes.
practice. Because if you can practice at 100% and you're consistent, then you're definitely going to be consistent at 80%.
That's not quite right. What you do when you practice at 100% is you're
Yeah.
practicing past the point of making mistakes.
Okay.
And you make mistakes in practice,
Yeah.
and then you dial it back to your safe level in
Yeah.
competition.
Like putting a shot on the floor.
Yeah, like in practice,
Yeah.
I will always go for doubles. Every single time, I will always go for a double shot. So very common in shotgun where you've got a pattern to play with. You can
Yeah.
normally get 2 for 1 on targets. Sometimes depending on how they're laid out. There's only been one time in the last 2 years I've gone for a double in a level 3 competition because I'm dialing it back to that safe thing. And that was a real safe bet. There's actually 3 targets in one. They were all sat next to each other. I had my dispersion choke in, so I was like, they were like almost 10 metres away. I knew they were all going to go down, so that was an easy tap. But
Do we want to continue with the airsoft or action air hate?
why? Who's this?
So-
It's just Kiddle, isn't it?
It is.
And I can see your dad Tim is in there.
Yeah.
Kiddle. Tim is not the sort of person you want to mess with. Back the fuck down.
But
Go to bed.
But this is something that I've actually had a number of had a number of arguments with people. Not specifically about airsoft, but what David said is, all joking apart, airsoft will kill FACs.
This is something that comes up a lot, and
Right? How does the majority of people, how did you start shooting?
Mhm.
Right? The majority of people that I've come across, the way they start shooting is through air guns.
Mhm.
Right? Okay, maybe air or airsoft guns, but still air rifles or air pistols. It's a gateway. And the way for me we protect FACs and we protect all areas of shooting is we get people doing it. And action air is something that is so much easier to get into, two-tone aside and all that, but it's so much easier to get into, and also so much easier to convince the mother of the child to allow to do.
Yeah.
Because if you say, darling, I would like my darling child to start up practical shotgun, they go, show me a video, and it's some kid,
Yeah.
bah, 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 bah. It's good. Hell to the fuck no. But you show them a BB gun, you say, it's a BB pellet, it's eye protection, it's all safe. You should always.
not to say that shotgun isn't safe.
No, and absolutely right. But with a BB gun, as long as you've got eye protection, nothing bad can happen.
Yeah.
Even in the worst case scenario, which never happens within our IPSC, it's one of the safest shooting disciplines out there. But
IPSC is over 1,000 times safer than football.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So it's an incredibly safe sport, but trying to convince parents or trying to convince the public to allow a child to go into action air is going to be a hell of a lot easier. Whilst again there should be no reason, than going into say PSG or mini rifle or using live fire guns.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't really a bigger risk, but of course you are dealing with live fire guns. There is always a very small risk.
At the same time, whilst there is a really good argument for it being a feeder sport,
Yeah.
don't forget it's still a strong discipline in its own right.
Yep.
Mhm.
There are different. So what I think sets the disciplines apart, like rifle, pistol, shotgun, action air, mini rifle, they all require different techniques.
Yep.
They require different techniques to be the best, to be good at it. Let's take, for example, take action air completely out of the picture. The difference between rifle and mini rifle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could easily make all the same claims. Oh, mini rifle's going to kill rifle.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, but rifle is already dead here.
rifle's dead across most of the world, but that's because of a lack of venues.
But you look at it. I look at it the other way as well. We can't have full bore handguns here, right? Well, under certain exceptions, yes. But for IPSC at the moment, we can't. And actually, I think there's a greater
Your dad's
chance.
getting really pissy at Kiddle, by the way.
I think that there's more chance of people in the UK starting to do IPSC handgun through Action Air, because it is very, very similar in terms of the stage, in terms of the mental discipline, in terms of muscle memory, and people can get a taste for it. They can compete regularly. I mean, Team Shield, right?
Yeah.
Like Shield Optics.
Team Shield?
Yeah.
Shoot Action Air.
Yeah, right. Team Shield. They have a Section 5. They do not need to be shooting Action Air if all they want to do is shoot handguns. But they sponsored the Airsoft Surgeon match, and both both owners, Jeremy and James, were shooting it. Justin Cooper, part of Team Shield, who's a really accomplished pistol shooter here in the UK and abroad, was shooting it. Like, it's because it's another competition. It's not a fill-in. It's not it's just another discipline.
You take skills from one discipline into another, and actually, whilst I have had arguments with people against multi-discipline competing, there's a lot of pros to it as well. Like, you learn things in one discipline that you take through to another, and I think getting a few things across a few different disciplines makes you an all-round better shooter. Anyway, there is something else I want to talk about, and that's the reason why Paul's sitting here in the first place.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we've had quite a few people work with us and help us out with Magload over the last couple of years. There is definitely far too much work to go around for just two people, so we've always got people here helping out. Paul was with us earlier this year, before COVID, doing some work experience. We loved him because we just put stuff in front of him, and before we'd even finished walking out of the room, it was already done. And we actually came to the point where we were running out of work to give you during your work experience to keep you occupied.
Yeah, we've just had to place 2 fairly large orders with suppliers just so there's going to be stuff for Paul to process.
But
so
it means you can sell it.
It does, so please go on to magload.co.uk. We need to keep him busy.
Buy some breach flags.
No! Well, yeah, that's all you've been doing, is packing bloody breach flags. But so Paul is working full-time with Magload now. Do you want to tell them about what's going to potentially go on further yet, or you want to not say?
Yeah, so I'm currently doing a few days a week down here at Magload, doing various things, building stuff, developing stuff, doing some video editing with gunroom TV, and then hopefully starting in January I will be beginning my design engineer apprenticeship. So that'll be...
the idea is Paul will be doing a design engineering degree apprenticeship, so it's a level 7 apprenticeship for anyone who knows the lingo, with us here, and I'm super keen on that because some of you will know that I used to teach apprenticeships, so I definitely, having been to uni and taught apprenticeships, I am 100% for this sort of vocation that an apprenticeship is the way to go. So I'm super happy that Paul made that decision.
Hello, Holly. Thank you for joining. So we've had Kat, we've had your girlfriend and my girlfriend. Trifecta of girlfriend.
We've got his entire family on the stream. Tim, I just want to say, before you get too angry here, Kiddle is deliberately trolling you. He doesn't actually hate Action Air and airsoft and all that kind of stuff. We even saw him once saying that he would shoot an action airgun whilst wearing jeans.
No, it's normal practical with jeans. Jeans are acceptable practical shooting wear.
I wear jeans all the time.
Oh.
Boom.
Damn it! I can't use the Mr. Mid.
Shield me, Paul. Shield me.
In fact,
No!
I've won
Stop
some
it.
of those presents.
You're
with wearing
fired.
jeans.
You're fired.
All is forgiven. Jeans are acceptable practical wear. If you
Damn
can't-
it, Paul.
if you're blaming your shooting on your jeans,
That's it. You're working outdoors tomorrow.
no, jeans don't stop you from winning. There we go.
Damn
That
it.
could be Arius. Meme that shit.
Arius isn't even on the stream. He doesn't bother. He's
gonna
going to getting bad.
No, he's going to tune in later, watch the catch up, and be like, "Oh, I'm so unloved."
Well, yeah, but that's not the point.
Richie Bray, evening. Thanks for joining.
The channel isn't called Arius Shooting. Well, if it was, it'd be called Arius Not Shooting, because he doesn't. But that's.
I'd want to. There's a question from Daniel. Daniel was asking some consumer advice.
So I'm curious because I don't actually know what the two guns are that he's talking about.
So he says, do I buy a Desert Tech MDR or the Daniel Defense H9?
I know I like Desert Tech,
Hey, Daniel Defense is pretty good.
but I like Desert Tech because I've seen Daniel's one and it's very, very nice.
It's a bullpup, isn't it?
It's actually a bullpup. It is actually a bullpup.
Why won't let me select it? No, I nearly banned Daniel.
Don't ban Daniel.
I'm trying not. It get
He's
very.
the only person that still likes you.
Your mum.
Alright, whilst you're doing that, Chris Lewis, how long does it take to train as a gunsmith? Traditionally, there was no formal qualification for it. It was more of an experience thing. Although companies like RØDE would offer apprenticeships in it, the apprenticeship itself wasn't in gunsmithing. However, a year before last, an actual gunsmithing apprenticeship has been launched.
Cool.
That is potentially the only route into formal gunsmithing at the moment. Although, as I say, traditionally it's been very experience based, so it's all going to be about getting into a shop where someone's there and willing to teach you and going from there. Very much like Paul is with us. I hope to be teaching him lots of outfits and guns whilst he's here.
So we have the MDR.
That looks like something out of Halo. Awesome.
That looks very similar to no, I can't even. Chris Vector. Like, no, seriously, it like.
Oh,
it reminds.
Kiddle's going to be on the stream next week.
Is
He's
it?
going to bring Lego guns.
Well, we like Lego.
I love Lego.
I
I was thinking about my Lego rocket earlier.
Yes. Well, Lego tipped rocket.
Lego tips rocket.
That's the.
Just the tip, and only for a second.
And you always use Magload. Don't use Magload. Do not use
And that's,
Magload
that's the
as a
Daniel
section.
Defense.
No, that's the Daniel Defense.
Well, that's the
Hudson H9.
I don't even get what sort of question that is. It's
Look,
a rifle and a pistol. Buy both of them.
These are big boy guns. We know allowed big boy guns down here.
Yeah.
Well, you already have the Geisley AR-15, so you already have a rifle out in the States, Daniel. So maybe go for the Daniel Defense H9 if it is the handgun.
Just make sure it's on the production list first.
No, make sure it's in 22 WMR. Love you, Daniel.
I did see it somewhere, but I think I've lost the comment. Someone's nagging you to take photos of the Lantac magwells so they can go up on the website.
That's a banned word on the stream.
What, Lantac?
No, Magwell. Yes, we do. There is a few products. We did show them on the stream a few weeks ago. I need a gun. I actually need a Lantac to be able to take the pictures with.
Yes, that is one of the
If
problems.
anyone watching
we are gonna put
has
them up.
an SF-15 or a Raven, a full one, and you would like to bring it down to the Blue Fieldsports gun room, we'd be incredibly grateful. We don't need to shoot it. We won't molest it. Literally need like 5-10 minutes with it for some photos. So we'd be very, very grateful. There may be sexual favours in return if you're into that sort of thing.
And even if you're not, there may be sexual favours in return.
You might not be able to say no. and it's not rape if you shout surprise.
Moving on.
There's something in this Pepsi, I swear.
With the
It's the MSG from the Chinese.
Oh no, it's taken effect.
Maybe.
Sinner 2004, when I start my practical shooting journey into competitions, can I just shoot in the UK or do I have to travel abroad too? So the best competitions that we've been to have been international by far. Places, well, even the Empire Strikes Back out in Utah with American shooting trips, like that was the first time I'd really experienced a proper big match, 3-gun match, and it was insane. And then things like the European Handgun Championships and the Rifle World Shoot out in Sweden. They're just on a different level to what we usually see here. We have level 3s.
But at the same time, you say that when we're going out to those matches, we're going to big matches. We're going to level 4s and level 5s.
But what I mean
that's why
is that if you want to go to those sorts of matches, we don't have level 4s or level 5s here.
No.
So if you want to go to those big matches, you are going to have to go abroad. Having said that, the level 3s in action air, in mini rifle or long barrel pistol or shotgun here are still amazing competitions. There's a huge amount of effort that is put in. I mean, the airsoft surgeon match.
Oh my god, that was huge. It's a massive
It's a level
match.
1. Was it?
Well, a level 1.
Yeah, it's level 4 standard.
Yes.
The only reason it was a level 1 was so people could compete without safety
Yeah.
certificates, because it was an exhibition match.
They had a roller coaster there, like for fuck's
which we
sake.
didn't get to go on.
We didn't. Very disappointed.
And on that note, with the roller coaster, it was built by Paul,
by my dad.
Tim, and Matt.
Yeah.
But you can do some
The
serious
cat's here. How did the can fall down over there?
aliens. So
Aliens.
aliens. Aliens. Why don't I have my FAC? Aliens.
Tony.
So you just have to sneak it in, don't you? That's what she said. Anyway, what we were talking about, you can do some serious shooting here in the UK, but if you're going to want to go and do full bore handgun, of course, the closest place is going to be Northern Ireland, or you're going to have to go out into the continent or America, again for full bore rifle, most likely Europe or America for doing that. But obviously for practical shotgun, we do. I'm sure within the next few years we will see a level 4 here. It's just going to happen.
So the only reason there hasn't been a level 4 here now, if there's going to be a level 4 here, it's most likely going to be in shotgun because that is our main discipline. And the reason why we don't is because of lack of a venue of appropriate size. So the best venues we have are really good venues for level 3s, but they're just not up to holding something the size of a level 4. Whilst you could hold the match there, there's enough space. There's enough space for the stages, but not enough space for the sheer movement of people. Like even
toilets,
Serbia was big. There was like 40 odd bays, and it was still choked. It was still tight. It was a massive long walk around. Châteauroux, France, again built very similar to Serbia, but you had to drive from like zone A to zone B, and they did run level 5s there, but we don't. You can manoeuvre that amount of people around.
Yeah.
And
we do because it's been done.
Yes, we do, but politics. They politics.
They politics all over that, just like Nala does. So
it's not politics, girl. Yeah, I tell you that.
We've got lamp-free Milt. Did you change the stock on the Remington 700 SBS Varmin? What was your take on the original stock? Worth keeping or changing? So I'm guessing. Oh no, it's not even behind. What are you talking about?
Is that the one in the blue stock?
It's the one in the blue stock.
Yeah, so we usually have on display, we've got the Remington 700, it's the Blue Fieldsports demo gun, but it's fitted with a form rifle stocks, upgrade stock. And to be honest, it's going to come down to your personal preference. Some people are still going to want the synthetic stock because it's going to be practical in terms of rain if you're taking it out stalking.
I just want to say on that note, really common misconception. Yes, laminate is wood, but it doesn't behave like wood. The whole point
it's more
of laminate,
stabilised.
Yeah, well, it's not technically stabilised, but the whole point of laminate is it does away with all the problems of wood.
Okay.
It does what synthetic does, but it looks nicer and is heavier and it's actually better ballast for the gun.
Yes, so you could look at the form rifle stocks and say it's you're using it because you want the shape of it, you don't care about the finish, but they are beautiful. And you're always going to be, if you get a ding or a scratch or a dent in it, it's going to hurt more than the synthetic. So the great thing about the Form rifle stocks is that you can find one to fit you. They make different shapes. They obviously have the adjustable riser and the pad, so you can hone it for you, which obviously you can't do with the standard stock. So it's going to be down completely on whether you are going to benefit from the adjustability and the changed form factor. And of course, they do look very pretty, which is the main important thing with a gun.
But with the original question, the standard stock the SPS comes with is actually a very nice stock.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cheap piece is slightly low stock for what the gun's for, so either or.
Well, I used to have the SPS as well, and I was shooting up to around 800 yards successfully at Bisley with the standard stock. I mean, it was pretty much just a standard gun, and it did fine.
I just want to rattle through a few of the comments that have been coming through.
Yeah.
Can you shoot a 300 Win Mag at Bisley? No, you cannot.
Yes, you
can. 300 Win Mag?
Yes, you can. 300 Win Mag, not 338 Lapua. 300 Win Mag is the maximum caliber for Bisley.
Right, okay.
That's why it's such a good caliber to get if you want something really big.
There's your answer. 300 Win Mag is allowed, but that is your limit. Am I shooting Cottesloe Heath? Yes, I am. I'm ROing though, so I don't know if I can squad with anyone because I'll be in and out of stuff. David Kiddle was at the match at Bisley 25 years ago, the World Shoot, which is pretty awesome. What do I think of the WX chassis? Never heard of it, just Googled it, looks pretty nice. Maybe I'll do some reading up on it. And there was another one.
James Minstall, if you get a Benelli M3.
That was it, yeah. So that's the question I really want to address because it's a question that's come up a lot. And we've actually tested this, as in someone's gone to a match with an M3, tried to compete in standard manual, and been told, no, you're shooting in standard. What they did is they disabled the switch to enable you to switch it to a standard gun. So Benelli M3, for people who don't know, it's a tube-fed shotgun that can be either semi-auto or pump action, depending on how you flick a switch at the front. So he disabled that switch, so it was locked to a pump action gun, and they told him he still had to compete with the semi-autos because the gun is capable of semi-auto.
We have a someone willing to receive the sexual favours.
Is it Daniel?
He's actually already booked in tomorrow morning as well.
Oh yeah, no, I saw Dan Horse is coming down.
Thanks Dan, really appreciate that. So we should be able to launch the SF15 Magwells pretty well tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll go up on the website. They're ready to go. Paul's finished packaging them also.
There's one on my desk, isn't there?
Yeah. Cool. All right.
So, appreciate that. Daniel Smell talking, the MDR is the most likely choice in the States if we got the 3.5 Creedmoor.
I can't believe that. 6.5 Creedmoor is cheaper than 5.56 and 7.62.
Boog.
That is unbelievable, isn't
it? It's because of what's going out in the States at the moment. You know, again, we'll skirt around that topic, but calibers like 5.56 and 7.62, they're the go-to end of the world prepper sort of round. So with 9mm, you cannot get 9mm for love nor money. And David, I've actually been meaning to message you. If the October trip doesn't go ahead, I know you've got all the ammunition out there. You could probably flip it for 2 or 3 times what you paid for it. I'm not joking.
Yeah, no.
You know.
So I've got some friends on Facebook who are Americans who we've met at various shoots, and one of them is what are they called? FFLs. That's it. So he's a firearms dealer out in the US, and he always advertises the ammo he's got in stock. And he keeps on getting asked for 9mm and all that kind of stuff. He goes, guys, I haven't got any 9mm, haven't got any 7.62, I haven't got any 5.56. I do have shitloads of 357 SIG. If you buy 357 SIG, I will give you a barrel to run it in your gun.
Bloody hell. And
people are taking him up on it because they don't have, because a lot of guns can run 357 SIG with just the barrel change. Maybe not reliably, but they can run it. So yeah, people are taking them up on this deal because they're so short of ammo.
Kiddle's saying there's definitely a mistake with the decimal point, and I'm going to interpret it, but he's saying our 2 pallets of Brit ammo in Kentucky is valued at, I think he was meant to put $45,000. But then maybe he's missed a zero and it's $450,000. If it's worth $450,000,
you're in the wrong game.
Like sell, like, and buy a range. $450, really?
$450 or
He's saying
$4,500?
$450,000. Why do you still have it?
No.
No, it's valued. It's
What's the
valued
first
at
rule of gun club?
It's valued at $450.
$450. I'll give you $500 for it.
Have you any heard of any manufacturers making a 10 gauge slug in the UK or even a mould? Lyman do, I believe, make a mould for a 10 gauge slug, and I know that Andy Duffy has reloaded 10 gauge slug, so maybe, I know you know who he is, Alex, so maybe he's worth chatting to about that. I wouldn't want to shoot it. It'd be like shooting Paul Robertson's, like, fucking, what are they?
Shoulder breakers.
Were they 70 grams?
65 grams.
65 grams.
He makes a 70,
No.
but he took it easy on us.
No. Oh.
That's how we're going to initiate you with practical shotgun. We've still got.
What do
some.
you mean initiate him? He's
I've already
done
been
his safety course
I've
and
done my safety
everything.
course.
Well, it's time for the shoulder. When did this happen?
Work experience?
Yeah, he did his safety course on his work experience.
I wish my work
You ran out
experience
of
was that
stuff
good.
for me to do, so.
All right, you got a bit right. So when you went back to school and told everyone about your work experience, did you have the best of work experience out of everyone?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I wasn't
yes.
making cups of tea for everyone. And I
There were a
got,
lot
I
of
got to
breach-
shoot guns.
There were a lot of breach flags in spring, so I do apologise.
Yeah, that's good. What did you do? You know, I sat in the office and did filing. What did you do? Oh, you know, I was on a building site, so I was loading up wheelbarrows. What did you do? I played with guns.
Watch this video!
Yeah, so when Paul was here with his work experience, he was made servant of the RFD, so he could help us around with operations in here.
Yeah.
And on the last day of his work experience, we took a bunch of guns up to the range, and he had a lot of fun, and it was testing.
So kids.
It's more to learn about all the different
Mhm.
guns and things like that.
Yeah.
So because we were kind of hoping you'd come back, which you did, which is excellent.
I got to clean them all as well.
You did get to clean them all afterwards.
So I'm trying to, David, you can correct me on if I'm wildly wrong, but when we went out to Utah a couple of years ago, I think for an additional 1,000 rounds, it was like $200, right, of 9mm. And I can't remember exactly, but I think it was around there. So this does actually begin to add up, because David's saying that 9mm brass is $850 per 1,000.
For the brass.
Right, but I have seen that the price of 9mm has gone, in some areas, has gone above $1 a round for a made round, finished round, right?
Jeez.
So if I'm right,
No, that can't be right, because the current 3-gun memes is telling us that it's 10 cents a round.
no, it's like, I mean, factory packaged ammunition, but the stuff that, yes, so about $200 per 1,000 in Utah. So if you go and buy, I mean, David has, 40 to 50 people go out on the trips. It's a minimum of 1,000 rounds per person, so he must have minimum 40,000 rounds. If you buy it at $200 and you're making, and they've gone up to $1 a round, that's $800 per 1,000 you're making. So you're...
Yeah, Dave, just cancel the Utah trip and sell the ammo. None of us will blame you.
You can sell my portion of the ammo. I'll take the difference. That's not right.
That's not right.
What's that?
Oh no, it's per 1,000.
You're an idiot, Callum.
So it's per 40.
Come on, guys, we're at 79 likes, 100 likes.
So
and get
well,
to kick
this
Callum
is
off the
saying
stream.
this is £32,000 profit. So $8 profit, $800 per 1,000 profit. Say 40,000 rounds is the 32,000.
Yeah, don't actually sell the ammo, kid. We do want to go out there.
But I'd imagine he has like 50,000, so it's a £40,000 profit.
Yeah.
And then if you're saying that it's $1 a round now, oh no, it's 1,000. Oh, I'm getting very confused. I'm mathing too hard right now.
You can't math at the best of times.
That's not right.
Carl, if you run level 4 up in Norway, we will come and shoot it.
Well,
We were actually looking forward to coming and shooting the Dutch Open with you guys, because I am very keen on rifle at the moment.
Oh, that makes sense. David's saying he has 300,000 9mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's... How much shooting did you expect us to do?
Yes. Is the GSG 1911 reliable and worth buying?
No.
Sorry. It is if you're willing to
It's
drop
good for the price.
It's good for the price. but at the same time, it's not when for like £100. Well, no, this is the exact same price.
No,
you
no,
can get the
it's-
Walther 1911.
No, it's like 100 quid more.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay. Alright, so for £100 more, you can get the Walther 1911, which is fucking flawless.
But if you don't mind putting in a few £100,
It's more than a few hundred. It's about £1,000 to take a GSG to race
Okay.
usable.
well, Richard Morgan was shooting standing to a 2.2, pimped out.
This is the M9 engineering
Yes,
fully
yeah.
tricked
So
out gun.
he had one like the finished, absolutely everything done on it, the accurizing kit and all that, and he was shooting plates at 100 yards standing, no problem whatsoever. Really, really accurate and consistent gun.
But take the Walther 1911, which will do it out of the box.
Or that.
Yeah, for £100 more. That's if you're dead set on a 1911. PPQ is again a fantastic gun to go for. Yeah, but sorry, no, we don't recommend it.
I mean, I bought one. I don't think if you're getting started into it, yes, but spend the extra 100 quid more and get a much better gun.
I don't see with the existence of the Walther 1911.
But
I don't see a space for the GSG.
But for some, the issue of the 100 quid extra would be a big issue. Like if you're on a real fine budget, you can get up and running. It is the cheapest way to get up and running with an LBP in the UK. And
No, the Firefly is.
Yeah, Firefly is the choice for the cheapest gun.
but not for competition.
You can't run a GSG in competition without spending 1,000 quid on it.
Yeah.
I've got a GSG. Granted, it's a Mark 1, and it's a great plinking gun, and I love it because it's a 1911.
Mark 2s are different.
Yeah.
Your Mark
They
1
are-
experience is tainted.
They are, but the Mark II still needs £1,000 spent on it to get it to run.
Firefly.
Mine ran.
Yeah, and your Stoker runs, you're just fucking lucky. Or not, because you don't have an FAC. But
I mean, I've got to have some silver lining, right?
you've got the only cheap shit guns that actually work, and you're not allowed to use them.
The Stoker Academy.
Oh, you can use
yes,
gas section
yeah.
too. What happened to your GSG? Oh yeah, it shut the bed and broke me for it a bit.
No, it got taken off me.
Yeah,
Thanks for opening up
same
that wound.
It was only a GSG.
Wounded. I only had it a month.
Yeah, well, when you get your tickets back, you're gonna have a nice custom PPQ.
No, I am going to buy a GSG 1911 just to spite you now, and I'm going to make it work.
And I will happily let you buy it and try. 'Cause I already know what the outcome of that's going to be.
You won't be shooting it wearing a Blue Fieldsports shirt.
Or a Magload shirt.
Yeah. Shirtless it is then.
Yeah, actually, I say that.
Naked it is then.
Yeah.
So Alex, we do have the rule, we're not allowed to be naked in the gun room with guns. I wouldn't count the GSG 1911 as guns, so you can be naked in the gun room with the GSG 1911.
There you go.
I think the same would go for a Browning. You'd be allowed to be naked in the gun room with a Browning.
No Brownings. Don't care about the nakedness, no Brownings.
You can't. I have altered the deal. I alter it further.
So one quick last shout out. I was meant to shout these guys out, or this guy out earlier. There's paw prints all over my laptop. Thank
Why
you,
do
Nala.
you think?
So when I popped down to Marmaduke Creations today, so obviously Mark was kind enough to make me this very special biltong knife, and despite my best of trying to look after it as well as I could, it started going rusty.
Yeah, it's because it's still got bits of biltong on it. I can see it from here.
You've not cleaned that.
It was literally cleaned by Mark today.
So why is there biltong?
Because it's
There's biltong in the sheet.
This is where you can't have nice things.
Yeah, no, it is. It's. And I'm not.
I just saw what you did on there.
I haven't had biltong in a while. Anyway, so I did really try to make sure. I know it's high carbon. I've never had a nice knife like this, and I tried to oil it and keep it safe by keeping it in the sheath, which is apparently not
Biltong.
what you do. Biltong aside, you
Right.
don't heat. So Mark,
Okay.
obviously,
I'm actually really interested to hear about
Yeah.
what the knife care tips are.
So while I was down there, I got Mark to not only just show me how to actually look after my knife, but we've made a video. So he's given some top tips of how to care for, you know, expensive or just, you know, your general knives. And, you know, it's a little bit of a tour of where, you know, where he is and what he does, learning a bit more about Marmaduke. And I was also down there to hand deliver the block of wood for Connors'...
Hand deliver?
Hand deliver.
Oh,
Are you getting hungry again?
I thought you said something about liver.
Right.
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
So Connors has his... I'm going to put this back in the sheath before I take
Take
Paul's...
yourself.
No, before I like swing it at you. It will just take the nose straight off. So Connors obviously has his form rifle stocks, Ruger 1022 stock and the Chiapparino grip, and a bit of the offcut is being used on his knife. And I also went down there to get some footage, and Connors is actually going to... so Mark is going to come back up and deliver the knife to you, and all of that will be...
Is it because we're going to laser it?
Yes.
It is?
No,
Oh.
we're not going to laser it. He's got some stuff that he needs lasering.
Cool, alright.
But anyway, so he's gonna that's gonna be a separate Gunroom TV video, but there will be a video hopefully going out in the next few days of some knife care tips. And the biggest thing I learned, number one, oil. He said don't be ridiculous with it, especially if you have your wooden grips, because you can damage the grips. But the sheath is something. Well, I thought, put it in the sheath, keep it in the sheath. Now, obviously, Mark has.
Not when your sheath is full of biltong, though.
Now, Mark has a lot of knives because he's a knife maker, and he opened up his sort of demo drawer, and all of the knives were out of their sheaths. He has a pile of sheath, like he has his sheath part of the drawer and his knife, and he said, I would never store long term. Your sheath is there for when you're out and about, when you're carrying the knife. He said, when you get home, take it out, especially if your sheath gets wet. Like, do not put your knife in a wet sheath. But there's some other things like, what did he call it? I want to say like, it's not strobing, or like stropping. Stropping, that's it.
Yeah.
So it shows how to strop.
We need to buy a strop, actually.
It's better leather.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's some really basic home tips. But interestingly, actually, so the rust that was on there was only very light and very fine. And what he used to bring it...
So people don't think I'm playing with myself, because I just saw how that looks on the screen. I'm playing with the cat. She is here, enjoying herself.
Connors, that's very long.
Oh.
Part of this.
Sorry, Paul.
You can't be stroking the pussy on YouTube.
This is Paul's first and final appearance on the stream, I'm sure. I forgot. Oh yeah, so what he actually used to clean up the rust was the same, what I refer to as nail files.
Oh, the ones I gave him?
I guess so.
Yeah.
He just like literally gone.
Yeah.
So.
And we're not going to tell you what those nail files are, because they are a bit of a trade secret.
And by the way, I don't actually think it's biltong. I think it's part of the sheath.
It's biltong.
No, I always wiped it down. I looked after it.
Licking it is not wiping it down.
It was tasty. But anyway, that will be a video that will be coming out on the channel very soon. Something a bit different, some knives as well. What other videos do I have? We've got me cooking with James Golden.
You can't cook for shit.
No, I can't, but James is an amazing chef and amazing teacher as well, so we have talked about that before on the live streams. But there is the series James Golding on Game over on Gunroom TV if you want to learn some delicious game dishes, everything from venison, partridge, pheasant, and we're going to get more adventurous as the series go on. So go and check that out, and then if you want to make me see me make a fool of myself, well, just tune in every Thursday at 7.
On that note, we're at 85 and we've got 6 minutes to go. So guys, I'm very disappointed. You didn't manage to get Callum off the stream this time.
Maybe next time. But Daniel Smerald, Callum usually gets hot.
Do remember, the offer still stands. If any of these live streams reaches 1,000 likes at any point, the channel gets renamed Conners Shooting.
But you have to shave.
No, that wasn't part of the deal.
No, that is now the deal.
No, that's not
part
part
of
of the deal.
I have changed the deal.
No, I have changed it.
I have changed it.
And I have rechanged the deal.
Wait, I change it to if we get 85 likes, you shave.
Then you've lost because we're on 86.
It says 85 on my screen.
86.
Off.
Stupid Mac user doesn't know where the off button is.
I don't actually have an off button. Macs have got they've reduced these things so far down. Not only don't you have a USB port apart from USB-C, and not only did they remove the most useful slot, which is the SD card slot for a video editing bit of equipment, and not only have they literally
1,000 likes and Paul grows a beard.
That's never going to happen.
We're on 90.
No, what about
10 more likes and Callum leaves the stream. Although to be fair, we're leaving the stream in 4 minutes anyway.
no, don't kick me off. Even if it is for 4 minutes, these two would destroy everything. So anyway, they've reduced it so much they don't even have an off button on the Macs anymore. So there's that.
ThinkPad Master.
They do, you know that, right?
Yeah. But it's not like a dedicated.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
the
not a
bin.
dedicated one, but it does have a way of turning it off.
It's the bin. It's the bin. The bin is the off button for Macs.
Connors doesn't like Macs.
I actually don't mind Macs. They are a tool for a purpose, and that purpose is to make money out of stupid people.
Oh! Wait, no, I don't need to say
Did you just call me stupid?
Are you sitting in front of a Mac?
Yes.
No.
I'm sitting in front of two Macs.
No, technically...
Then you're
no.
two stupids.
No. Technically, Alex is sat in front of 3 Macs and an iPad.
This is true, yeah. I'm very stupid.
Well, you could have used one ThinkPad to do the job of all of them.
Okay, you can run the stream next week.
It will run the stream,
It won't.
and CAD, and everything else alongside it.
Although there are a number of...
And it's 6 years old.
And there's a number of live streams as well with you sat in front of the Mac, so be careful.
Hey, I'd never claimed to be intelligent.
Tim Wyborn, yes, they just work.
Except when they don't.
They do.
And then you can't do anything about it.
So, of the 14 computers we have here, which is roughly the number, what was the last one that broke?
The one in
Yeah.
the container.
Okay, that one doesn't count. That's 400 years old. The last laptop we have that broke here, what was that? I can't remember.
It was
IBM.
Yeah, alright.
The thing is, I will admit, there's nothing inherently wrong with a Windows machine.
And
I am just allergic to them. I break them.
Genuinely speaking, the Mac does what it's meant to do very, very well.
Oh, Kiddle's getting back.
Yeah, software computers.
David Kiddle, Apple, the airsoft of computers.
So Tech Gamer 45 is saying as if you could buy the Mac OS separately, then you'd have one. I actually find the Mac OS quite good, apart from the forced updates.
They're not forced.
They're not forced.
They're not forced.
I've been reminding mine for
Yes,
tomorrow for
but
like
they
a
remind.
year.
They remind.
Yeah, but unlike Windows, you go, no, thank you, and it goes, okay, I'll ask you tomorrow with
No,
Microsoft
it doesn't.
Office. It's like,
It doesn't.
No,
I don't
guys,
open my
no,
laptop
no,
at college and it
Microsoft,
go
no, it
installing updates.
Because you disable updates, and updates are disabled. It
and then
doesn't
you
ask
get viruses.
It doesn't remind you, as you do with those.
Never had one.
Never had a
That
virus.
you fucking know of.
Never had a virus on my Mac.
Anyway, regardless, Mac OS is the good side of Macs. My beef with Mac and Apple is the hardware.
Hi, Mum. I'd agree. You're not allowed anywhere near my Windows machine. Yeah, because I break them. Give me 5 minutes, and it will be beyond all
Yeah, do you
economical
want to
repair.
tell your mum what happened to her last computer she gave you?
Yeah, I killed it.
Yeah. Do you know how?
I don't know how.
He turned it on,
and it broke.
and he said, "Hey, I use Apple," and it went. Poo.
So my mum's old machine.
gave up.
No, we've had it out in the container for a while, and I finally set it up for a stock machine. Got it all running. Got Dropbox running, and I left it overnight doing an update. Came back in the morning, go to turn it on, nothing. It's absolutely kaput. So I just break Windows machines.
At the same time, my beef here is really, really simple, right? You have like a £2,500 laptop, right, which is a current model, well, it's last year's model, right? And at roughly the same time, I got my 6-year-old ThinkPad, right, for a fifth of the price and like 10 times the horsepower. That is my beef with it. They could, for the money, have put the horsepower into that laptop, but they decided not to.
It's about the whole package.
No,
Anyway, it's 9 o'clock. Next week I want individual mics so I can turn Connors off. And it is time to go.
Yes, no, it is. And my mum's very kindly offered to fix the machine, so good luck. But thanks, Mum. So yeah, we will wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks for not reaching 100 likes, but very appreciative.
We're at 90.
At the
We
90
got
likes
further
that
than we
we've
did last
got.
week.
I'm sure by the time I get home there will be 100, but I'll be at home at that point. So a big thanks to Alex for running the stream, and Conners, and of course Paul for joining us. I'm sure it won't be the last, although he might want to run a mile after this evening. But thanks everyone for joining in. Again, same time, same place, same format. Next week at 7:30 on the Thursday, and
94.
94.
Hope to see you soon.
We hope to see you soon, guys.